Hey everyone, and happy Thursday here from Linda's as we are diving in to episode 4 of our live shopping stream and shop experience here for the July 4th savings holiday weekend that we started a little bit early at Linda's this year. You know, I love a good sale, so I said let's start it on July 1st, and we're diving in and doing all of these fun streams. If you are new to the live shopping experience, yesterday we had 3 different fun, incredible streams. We did our kickoff stream. Then I was joined by Jennifer, Ashley, and Deb from R&K for the Floriani stream, where I learned a ton about all of the different incredible stabilizers that they have available for us. And then we dove into a batting stream was our final one yesterday as we looked at cotton and blend fibers. We also have another batting stream later today. So if you didn't get your questions answered in that first one, or if you thought of some over the night and you'd like to discuss them, at 3 p.m. Central, we have that other stream to take them through. As always, let us know where you're watching from in the comment section. We love to see that. We know we've got people watching on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on our very own website. We love that so much. If you're watching us on those other platforms besides our website, the best way to do the live shopping experience, which means that the products actually appear in the video where you can add them to your cart instead of having to leave the video and go find them, you can hop over to our website, lindas.com. And on our website, there is a live shopping tab. So what we're going to do is right in here, there's a live shopping tab, and that's going to put you into the live shopping experience where you can hit watch live. You can also scroll through and see all of the other streams that we have coming up for you. This holiday, I am doing a record number of 10 streams. Never done that before, but I am doing 10. So this is the best way to come in and hit notify me and have the system reach out to you whenever we go live. So again, hopping over at lindas.com, the live shopping page, choose the notify me option, and the system will shoot you a text message before we go live so you cannot miss a single thing. Now, with the July 4th savings, we have a ton of incredible deals. But before we dive into that, today I am joined by a very special guest, someone near and dear to my heart, and someone that all of you know because she's been with me since birth. It's Mom. Mom, come on in.
That was good.
You liked
Since
that one, didn't you?
birth,
Since
yeah.
birth, you liked that one, didn't you?
I did.
Here
yeah.
she is. Hi, Mom.
Hey.
How you
Can you
doing?
scoot on in here? Good.
Since we're in my home studio now, it's a little different from like when
Yeah.
we're at the work studio. So I don't have fancy chairs for her because
We're
it's
gonna have
normally
to-
just a one and only person here.
One and done.
We'll get you another chair one day.
That's okay. This
How
is
you
good.
doing?
I'm doing good.
How's travels?
Travels are good.
How's retirement?
Retirement's lovely.
This one right here. I don't even know where she's at half the time. She might be in Europe for all I know. I don't know.
Oh, that's coming.
See, told you folks. See,
No,
all
it's
Mom.
great. I love being able to travel and explore, especially the U.S.
Yeah.
Road trips are so fun.
Yeah.
Exploring what we have here in America is amazing.
It is.
Which brings us to happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yes.
Love the holiday. Love being here with you.
Well, I'm excited that you are here. Yes. So not only is the 4th of July an incredible holiday for all of us, it's a very special one this year because it is America's 250th birthday.
Ooh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And we have to do some fireworks for that. So fireworks for that. But of course, in the idea and in the spirit of all of the fun, incredible holiday fun jazz, we've also got some incredible savings here at Linda's. And these are always some good ones. Mom and I, every time I sit down to talk about what I want to do for the sales holiday, coming from the previous owner, she goes, "Sure about that? That's what you want to do? Sure about that?" I said, "Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do that." So, Mom, do we want to go through our sales real quick for those that are new here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I wrote them down on my handy dandy sheet. You know, I always have a handy dandy sheet.
I think you should call it the handy dandy notebook.
My handy dandy from Blue's Clues.
Yeah,
my
you
handy
loved
dandy.
watching
And I
that
did
when you were
love Blue's
little.
Clues. Okay, let's bring up my childhood. That's great. Anyway, so our current sales that are happening here at Linda's now. This is July 1st through July 6th,
Yep.
2026. Also, if you plan on shopping in store for these sales, today is your last day to do that in store. Our store is closed Friday and Saturday, the 3rd and the 4th.
Yep.
And then we're always closed on Mondays, which would be the 6th. So if you are watching this and you're in the DFW area, or if you're wanting to travel to Dallas today to shop in store, today is your day to do it.
Yep.
The rest of the time will be virtually online with me.
Exactly. And we close at 5.
We close at 5 p.m. Central. Yep. So we're doing 45% off of all of our batting. That's rolls and packages. You've got 35% off of the cotton fabric by the yard. Mom's already taken advantage of that.
I have.
And you can tag that along with the buy 5 yards, get the 6th yard free.
That's true.
That's a big one, as long as you're always adding in that 6th yard.
Yep,
you have to add that in. The system won't automatically do it for you.
Oh.
And you can easily... You don't want to show off my stickers for the people?
I was like, you got lots of stickers.
I do have lots of stickers.
Are they all appropriate?
Yes, they're all appropriate,
Okay.
Mother. Golly, wow. Anyway, as long as you're adding in that 6th yard, you do not have to get 6 of the exact same fabric yardage either. You can get 2 of one, 2 of another, 2 of another, however you would like to do it. That's the best part about mix and matching. So 35% off those fabrics. You've got 30% off of the Shannon Cuddle fabric. We love the Cuddle Minky.
Yes,
it's so nice and fuzzy.
And we don't think of it this time of year because it's so hot, right?
Yeah, but this is the time to grab it.
This is the time to grab it,
and
so
then
you can make those quilts, so then they're ready for fall and winter.
Exactly. This is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And you've seen those new Cuddle cuts that are 108 by 108.
Yes.
Yeah, those are really cool. And they're coming. They got more colors now.
Do they?
They got more colors now. It's a whole thing. Anyway, we will talk about that during our Cuddle episode, which is tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. And I'll actually be in the store. Again, store will be closed, but I'll be in there kind of tearing it up. We've got 30% off of all of our Superior threads. So if you're an Omni, King Tut, Fantastico, they've got more bottom lines, So Fines, Super Bobs. There's a ton more. If you're a fan of all of those threads, those are 30% off today. And we will be talking about threads today in our thread episode.
Yes.
We've got 25% off of Glide and all Filtech thread products.
Nice.
20% off of Aurifil. Very limited quantity on the Aurifil because you guys... you know how to shop. Thank you. So it's very limited quantity on those, but 20% off the Aurifil, 25% off of all Quilter Select products, 25% off all Floriani products.
Oh my gosh.
Up to 35% off Notions. I'm not done yet.
I see that.
40% off of all of our end of bolt remnants. That is a fun place to be on the website.
Oh, for sure.
If you go to Fabric, they're actually called Fat Packs. It's hilarious. It's a thing. Watch the episode yesterday to learn more about it. But those are our end of bolt remnants. There are so many in there that you can take advantage of, and they are 40% off.
I love the end of bolts because they're odd sizes, and we always need that odd size.
Well, you never know. I mean, if you get an odd size wide back, it's great for sashing, binding, all sorts of different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's great selections. It's not like, oh, here's the clearance, here's what's left over.
Oh, no, it's good stuff.
No, it's literally just end of bolt or something that just came out.
Yeah, if there's an end of bolt of Tula Pink, it's in there.
Exactly.
It's probably gone, but it's in there.
So you definitely want to check those out. I love the end of bolts.
Dana says, are they appropriate? That's hilarious. Yes, they are appropriate, Mother.
I had to ask.
Yes, I have appropriate stick. I think I do. Yes, they are appropriate on this one. That's right. Yes.
It's too late now.
It's too late now. They see the stickers. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We see people flying in from all different platforms. That is great. But the purpose of today's episode is thread and all things thread. I do want to note as well, because I didn't do a good enough job about talking about this yesterday. We are doing a super fun giveaway during the holiday. So every order that you place gets you an entry into the giveaway pool, basically.
Nice.
And I have 20 giveaways this year.
20
to give away.
So for Memorial Day, you only had like 6 or 7, right?
For Memorial Day, I had 10.
10, you had 10.
Yeah, I had 10 for Memorial
so
Day.
20.
I've got 20.
And if you go back, he legit gives this stuff away, and he does it live, so that way you guys recognize, hey, he literally gives this stuff away.
I give away a lot of stuff, but I would not be able to do those giveaways without all of our incredible sponsors.
That's amazing.
So I do want to give a big shout out, as always, not only to Linda's, because we do donate quite a bit for the giveaways, but Superior Threads, Airlight Batting, Habendash Threads, Hobbs Bonded Fibers, Aliso, Aurifil, Quilter Select, Floriani, Quilter's Dream, Famore, and the Fabric Company.
That's amazing. 20
giveaways.
That's pretty good odds.
You've got some really good odds on this one, but that's also one of those things where even if you order, so I've had into Memorial Day, someone ordered a pattern and ended up with the Aliso iron set.
No way.
Like, you'd be surprised what you can. It's not sorted. It's a random generated thing. I don't go in and go, that person should get it. That person can. I don't have time to do that. I say, pick me 10 people, and it spits it out. So make sure you're placing your order so you can get entered in, because there are Aliso irons. I'm giving away 4 rolls of batting.
Per order, right?
It's per order. Yeah.
So say you have a couple orders, they're over, or you have like one order, maybe it's $300, but you decide, you know what, I want to do 3, 4, 5 different orders. Just make sure they're over 99 to get that free shipping.
On everything except for batting.
On everything except for batting?
Yeah.
And then they say it's 4, they entered in 4 times?
Theoretically, yes. If you want to tell the people how to work around the system, yes. That would be the
when you're retired,
correct.
You start learning a bunch of little tricks and tips.
Theoretically, that's the way around the system, yes. The amount of orders you place during this holiday season with us. But
we have such good sales every single day.
All the time, yeah. We've got great prices.
Yeah.
It's really a great time. But, of course, during sales to get those giveaways, bonuses, that's even better.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
We love that. All right, well, let's dive into today's episode.
All right, let's do it.
So I want to talk about all things thread. We're going to go ahead and go overhead. Mom's going to move the computer over there. Mm-hmm. We're going to go overhead and we're going to go into, let's do this one and that one. There we go. So here at Linda's, we carry, actually, I just want to take you back to the iPad. We carry a wide variety of different threads. So on our website, if you go to the thread tab, you'll be greeted. See what I did there?
Yeah.
You'll be greeted with so many different options for you to choose from. We have probably a thread for everybody that you're looking for.
We definitely have a thread for everyone. Yeah.
I'm still scrolling. And now we're down to the bottom.
How many thread lines you've brought in since I've retired? It's
so many different thread lines. I like to have options.
You do?
I like to have options.
Well, it gives the options. It gives something for everyone, right? Mm-hmm. That way, I mean, it used to be, well, you don't carry the line I carry. You don't know. You can't say that anymore. Yeah, you guys carry everything.
We try to carry everything.
Almost everything.
Almost everything. And we do our best to keep them in stock as best as we can.
That's true.
There's a lot with everything going on in the world right now. We're doing our best to do what we can here on this. But I do want to talk about, should we start with different fiber types?
How should
we start this?
Let's do that. Let's start out with cottons.
We'll start with cottons. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's go with this bad boy. This bad boy. Do I have this bad boy? Mm-hmm. Those are the 3 that I can grab right now. But I'm sure I've got, this bad boy. We'll start with those.
Yep, I think that's all the cotton.
So I've got a couple of different cotton threads here with me. Now, this doesn't mean this is the end-all, be-all to all of the cotton threads we have on the website. These are just the 4 that I grabbed.
Yes.
So I want to start with, let's start with piecing threads, actually, and then we can move on to there. Okay.
Piecing cotton threads.
Piecing cotton
there's
threads.
Some also piecing polyester threads too.
Mm-hmm. Sure are. So let's start with piecing cotton threads. We'll start off with Aurifil. Now, Aurifil is, they're on sale right now, 20% off. Again, limited quantities. But Aurifil is kind of that staple that we're seeing across when people are looking for threads for piecing. And Aurifil denotes their threads by weight. And you'll know what weight the thread is based off of the color of the cone or spool that it comes on. So the iconic color that you'll see most of the time with Aurifil is the orange cone. Now that is a 50 weight. Now with the Aurifil ones, these are a 50 weight 2-ply thread as well. So what the 2-ply means is that there's 2 strands that are spun together to make the thread that you see. And normally most cotton threads are a 50 weight 3-ply, which makes them a little bit more bulky, where the 2-ply is still nice and strong, but it's going to help that seam stay a little bit more flat as it comes together. One thing that a lot of people don't know about the Aurifil spool in particular is this bottom orange part actually, it gets there eventually, pulls off, and you can easily wrap your thread underneath that and pop it back on so it stays back in place. Now, granted, I didn't do that for this. I'm letting it wind all over the place because why not? It's a party. But Aurifil is a great one that we find a lot of people using for piecing. They do also make a 3-ply 40 weight for quilting. But a 50 weight 2-ply, I would leave that just for piecing. I wouldn't really put this on my machine for quilting, especially if I'm a new quilter, because it might be a little bit finicky due to its thickness and its weight.
Exactly.
On this one. Yeah.
And just a heads up that one of the items that I'm putting up for the display is
yes.
I can't put every single item in color he talks about. So it'll literally just be like one, and then that just kind of gets you to the section, or at least screenshot the name of what we're talking about, and you can go back and look at that section later.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Like Mom mentioned, we have so many different brands of threads and colors within that brand. So when she throws up one, if you're watching us on the website doing live shopping, if you hit add to cart, it will still be in your cart when the live is over. That way you can go back and be like, oh, I wanted to go look at Orifil. I wanted to go do this.
That doesn't mean you're checking out and buying that item.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No.
If you just hit add to cart, and then when the stream's over, it'll still be in your cart unless you go to checkout.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to stop you from doing that either. Do what you would like. But that'd be the best way to do that.
Yeah, and like it reminds you that there's a very limited supply left on Orifil colors right now.
For Orifil, very limited.
They'll be back in stock later, but right now limited.
Very limited on that. Okay, so let's look at another cotton thread. Oh, actually, no. Can we talk about weight versus text? I think that's good before we get into actually talking about the threads.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Because, I started with saying this was a 50 weight 2-ply.
Yeah, you did.
So actually, I think we should talk about weight versus text first,
Let's
just
get
to make sure.
Education is that used to have. We used to say
education. That's the way to say it.
That's how
Thank
you
you.
used to say
That's
it all
the
the
way
time.
to say it.
It's
Thank
education.
you so much. It's
like,
education.
No, it's education.
It's education. So in the quilting world, you'll see threads mainly say either weight or text. You might also see denier. There's a few other ones. But weight and text are the big ones.
They're more popular in the sewing industry.
Yeah, they're more popular in the sewing and quilting industry. And they work opposite of one another. And the way a weight and text is determined is also really weird. So I want to give you the education on that, the threaducation on that one. So when you're looking at the weight of a thread, you're really determining the smaller that weight number is actually the thicker the thread appears
when it comes to weight.
To you when it comes to weight. So the smaller that number, the thicker the thread. So like some of the threads we have on our website, Orifil in particular, has a 12 weight thread.
Which is really, really
thick. It's a very thick thread. It's great for hand embroidery. I've used it on my machine for some machine embroidery stuff. You have to have a bigger needle. You got to go a little bit slower. It's a little bit more finicky. But some of those threads, as they get as a thicker weight, it allows you to do more of that handwork that you're looking for.
Exactly. Where a 12 text would be super thin.
Correct. Whereas if you see a 12 text, like Mom said, that's the complete opposite. Super duper thin. They are opposite of one another when it comes to weight and text. But like 100 weight is extremely thin.
Very, very thin.
Wonderful thread and we're going to look at one of those. Wonderful thread for a bunch of different applications. 100 text. I don't even know if they make 100 texts. They probably do. We've seen an 80. That's the highest I've seen. I've seen 85 actually. But an 85 text is much thicker. So they're on different points of the spectrum. But I think it's really cool because I like to tell, and I have it written down because I always make sure it's right because I can never remember off the top of my head. But I like you to know how weight is determined. Okay. So if a thread is labeled as a 40 weight, let's just use that as an option. If it's labeled as a 40 weight, that means that 40 kilometers of that thread weighs 1 kilogram. Okay. I don't know how I like to know the science behind it, but I don't know why. But again, so if it's a 40 weight, that means that 40 kilometers of the thread equals 1 kilogram in weight if it was weighed, like physically weighed. Whereas with text, it's done in meters and grams. Whereas what is the weight of the thread for 1,000 meters? Okay. How much does the thread weigh? If you put 1,000 meters of the thread on a scale, how much does it weigh in grams? So if 1,000 meters weighs 25 grams, it's a 25 text.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know how they come up with this stuff.
I think it's just enough to confuse us.
A little bit. Just enough to confuse us.
Well, what's funny is that when I started back in 2001, we were just doing quilting. That's all, not sewing or any of that stuff at that point. And all of the threads that we carried, because they had just started coming out with threads on larger cones for quilting machines, because Linda's had a big part of that. It was all text. Everything was text. And so when people would call back in the day and ask me, hey, I need a 50 weight, I'd be like, I don't know what that is. Because in the quilt, back then, it was just text for quilting machines. That's what they made. So then we got to really learn over the years all the different threads that are out there, what text, weight, and denier mean, why it's important, what sizes are important. There's so much education over on the YouTube channel from years past, from what videos you've done, I've done, So if you ever really want to know really deep details on threads, jump over to our YouTube and watch those on your downtime.
It's definitely the one to do. But again, I just wanted you guys to be aware of weight and text when we're talking about it. Especially we have a lot of new quilters and sewers that are joining us every day.
Love it.
So to know that terminology, and when we're saying this number versus that number, it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. But remember, weight, the higher the number, the thinner the thread. Text, the higher the number, the thicker the thread.
And so since you're talking about that, what's the most popular weight text thread size for piecing?
For piecing, most popular you're going to see is a 50 weight, which comes out to being
about a
35, 30 text. You don't really see a lot of text on piecing threads.
No, you don't.
You only see weight. But if you happen to have a text 35 thread that you were using for quilting, it can also be used for piecing most of the time.
Okay, same question for quilting.
What's the most popular one?
Size.
Not the brand. Most popular size you're seeing is about a text 40 or a text 30, which would put you at a 40 weight or 45 weight, depending, 45, 50 weight.
And when it comes to the quilting, not necessarily with the piecing, but with the quilting, when you're choosing your weight, you're really choosing how you want your quilting to show.
Of course.
So that would kind of be the difference there.
Yeah.
So the thicker the thread is for your quilting, just means your quilting's going to show more.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're going with a thicker thread for quilting, the quilting is going to be much more predominant.
Yeah.
More in the front of the quilting. That's really where the eye is going to land.
Yeah.
If you're wanting the piecing to be shown off more and not really the quilting, then you would go with a little bit of a thinner thread. So it kind of goes into the background and really showcases the piecing at that point.
And we have great options for both.
We do have great options.
All right, now it's time to show them.
Okay, let's do it. All right. So another thing in the cotton realm, we're seeing a lot of cotton variegateds for quilting. Absolutely love that. As it's going, and in here, I've got. Let's just start with one. Let's start with a very popular one.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the King Tut thread. Now, King Tut we have on cones, and this is the King Tut Cleopatra. This is one of my favorite ones just because it's like a rainbowy color. With the King Tut, you're going to have an inch variegation. I don't know if you can see that as much on the screen. You can kind of see it. You'll have about an inch of variegation on the. Oh, let me grab this white thing real quick so you can really see it.
And while you're grabbing that really quick, we didn't even spell out text. So when you are searching, it is TEX.
TEX, yeah. There you go. It's a little bit better to see it. There is an inch of variegation between each of these colors. A faster variegation means that it's going to, again, be a little bit more predominant for the quilting. You're really going to see those color changes, where some of the brands have a longer variation of color. So it's really showing off more of that piecing because that color is kind of subtly changing in a longer stride, where this is a much faster. But majority of brands now have moved to an inch variegation. I think Signature is the only one that hasn't.
I love variegated thread.
I do too.
My favorite.
One thing about variegateds that I will always tell you is make sure that you are looking at variegateds. If you are storing them or if you're grabbing multiples, we always get this when people order. This isn't the same color, but you can kind of tell a little bit of a difference in how it's wound on these. If you get two spools that you've ordered the same color, so say for instance you ordered two of the King Tut Cleopatras and they came wound completely separate, just go with me on this, folks, that this one in my left hand is the same. Okay. But if they come wound completely separate, it's not that it's wrong or it's a bad thread. It's just the way it's cross wound sometimes can allow that to happen. So you always look at variegateds from the top, and that will give you the best view of what the true colors are in the variegated lineup.
Correct.
So you're always having these, which are a really great way of doing that. Now, this was King Tut. We've also got a great one from YLI. So let's just set that one over there. YLI has one that's called Majestic. Now, this one is a 40 weight 3-ply as well. Looks quite similar to the King Tut. What's great about the YLI and the King Tut is this is a true 100% Egyptian cotton. It's a long staple. Long staple, some of them are extra long staple even. These are both extra long staples. What the long staple or extra long staple means is how strong the thread is.
Yeah.
So most cottons for piecing and for quilting now are extra long staple. But early on, They weren't. So if you have some really old cotton threads and you're frustrated with them because they might be breaking all the time, that's not necessarily. There's a couple of different things that can go into that, but not all of the ones back in the day were made with extra long staple to make it super strong because they didn't know what we knew what we know now about threads and about piecing. And machines weren't moving as fast as they are today. All the different things that are happening. But if you do have an extra long staple thread and you've had it for 10 years, I've seen some longer than that, and you're having some issues with it breaking, we have a great product for you to use on your cotton threads. It's called EasyThread. And I know a few of you watching, I can tell by the names that you love this product. So give it a shout out. But this is EasyThread. It's a silicone thread lubricant that does not add any gunk or grime to your machine. It doesn't stain your fabric. It doesn't harm the fabric. It doesn't harm the thread by any means. It's a clear, non-staining silicone lubricant that you can actually put over the thread to keep it from breaking, more or less. It's going to put life back into the thread.
I was going to say that it gives life back to the thread, right? And that's like a fast and easy way to do it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, with cotton threads, cotton is a natural fiber. So natural fibers will naturally dry out over time. And if they're going and racing through that needle, because that's another thing too. When the thread is working through that needle, it goes in and out of the eye of that needle 6 or 8 times before it actually makes the stitch. So you've got to think about that grinding against that metal needle 6 to 8 times before it actually goes in to make the stitch. And if there's no life left in it, or if it's a super dry thread, then it's going to pop. That's just kind of natural.
And I think on a long arm, it even goes through the eye of the needle more because of how fast the machine is. And you have to think about all the thread guides it's going through as well. So every thread guide that all your threads go through, but mainly cotton, it's pulling a fiber off as it goes through the guide. So when it's doing that, it makes it just a little bit thinner. So having that EasyThread on your cotton threads, for sure, cotton and metallic, it just helps it glide through those glides and through the needle and helps with the breakage. Now, I will say, you threw out there a minute ago about 10 years old. You want to make sure your thread is not 20 years old, right? Like, 10 years is really cutting the end point when it comes to storing thread. At that point, if you're having breakage with thread that's that old, because the ages are inside your cone, I would say replace the cone to just have the less frustration. Especially on the cottons.
For sure. Now, how we're doing this this EasyThread, basically, you just take off the top of the cap, and then we've updated the design since then, and I really appreciate all of your feedback on that while you've been doing it. But you just kind of tilt your cone to the side, and then you just take it and you just drizzle it down the side, rotate, drizzle it, rotate, drizzle it, rotate, and drizzle it. Okay, and that's just, again, going to put that life back into thread. I wait probably 30 seconds to a minute. I don't really wait that long, folks, to make sure that it's good to go. But about 30 seconds to a minute to let it dry in, and then it's good to go. You can start using it right away. You can see, oh my gosh, it's just soaking in there. It's almost gone. It's literally soaking in. I have used this thread maybe once, and I've had it for years. But you can see that it's basically already gone, which means I might want to put just a tad bit more. But I just put this on a little bit as I go, especially when I am long arming. But I do this with all of my cotton threads, and I do this with all of my metallic threads, which we will definitely get to metallic towards the end of this episode. But I do want to take a quick question. Catherine, not Catherine, Susie. Hi, Catherine. How are you? I've got one on YouTube, says tips on tension using King Tut for long arming, please. So with King Tut, it is a 40 weight 3-ply, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 40 weight 3-ply. So you do want to make sure that you have a little bit of a larger needle. I always use a 4.0 needle or a size 18. That's always a great one. A sharp needle is always a good one. When it comes to the tension on the long arm, because it is a cotton thread, sometimes I have to dial back the top tension just a hair. Where majority of our threads we're using these days for long arming, I see a lot of people use polyester threads. I love using polyester thread for long arming. So I have to, the tension can be a little tighter on that because polyester is a synthetic fiber, which we'll get to all of that. But with that natural fiber being in that cotton thread, you might have to dial that top tension back just a hair. to let it glide through really nice, and then make sure your bobbin tension is set quite nice as well. If you have a TOA tension gauge, that thing is a lifesaver when it comes to gauging your tension for your bobbin. What I've always done with mine is I get a thread that I like, top and bottom, same thread, top and bottom, and I'll stitch on some scrap fabric until I get that exact stitch that I want. And then I will take out my bobbin, I'll gauge it and figure out what that number is, and that becomes then my number for my machine. Now, I have 2 different long arm machines, and each of them have a slightly different number. It's just every machine's made a little bit different. So finding that right number can also help you gauge your tension when you're trying to figure out because if I get that tension number set in my bobbin, I know this is right, then I might need to make a slight top tension adjustment for the thicker cotton threads as we're working. So just kind of keeping that in mind when you're going through that as it is. Okay, so the other thing that other brand I want to talk about, which is an OG.
Before you do that,
can I just throw one more sorry, I just started talking.
I know.
You know me. I love thread. I do. I love thread.
So I love the testing idea that you gave.
Yeah.
So I think what's important also is when they are doing the testing to make sure whatever fabric that they're testing on is what they're going to be using mainly when they get that number.
That's right? A good idea.
So if you're quilting through jeans or cuddle, that might not be the same tension as if you're cutting through 100% cotton or quilting or through 100% cotton.
Yes. I would test on 100%.
But when they're testing to get that tension the way they want.
Yes. Yeah, that's valid. That's
not necessarily
a valid
the gauge.
Yes.
We'll take the gauge out of it.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to get that actual
that stitch that you're looking for. Yes.
It's going to be different on different types of fabric types.
Correct.
So test it on the fabric type that you're going to do.
That is correct.
Where it's a cotton quilt, that's going to be your stitching will look different than it would on a cuddle.
Of course. It'll look different on a jean stitch quilt. Yeah.
That was all. Just want to throw that in there.
I see what you did there. Okay. I was like, I'm trying to get to connect the dots. Okay. I'm with you. I found you. We have come back together.
There we go.
Okay. Of course, if you have any thread questions, feel free to put them in the chat or in the comments. This isn't just us presenting different products to you.
Correct.
These episodes are for you guys. As much as I love being on camera, these are for you. So I want to make sure all of your questions are answered. And I think Terry has one. Do you want to read that?
Yeah. So it says, I was using So Fine on a cuddle quilt the last 2 days and it kept breaking. Is there something I should do differently? So what are some tips for using So Fine on a cuddle quilt? Or is there a different thread that would be better using on cuddle? Let's kind of think through it. What's your backing? Like what kind of needle?
I'm assuming it's cuddle on both sides.
Cuddle on both sides.
Terry, let's hold that question until we get to So Fine.
Okay.
I think it would make a little bit more sense because it's going to be in a different fiber family.
That's true.
So let's stay with cotton real quick, but I don't stand by. Yeah. I'm gonna get it answered for you, but let's finish off some of the cottons.
Yeah.
Because I think it's gonna contradict some things if we're talking about cotton, it's gonna throw off some things of the flow.
True.
But I'm gonna get it answered. I promise you I will.
Okay.
So the other brand that I have in my hand. Remember, again, here at Linda's, we've got hundreds of different threads. But the other brand that I have in my hand is one of the OGs in the quilting realm when it comes to thread. So this is Signature thread. Signature was the first cotton thread company, to my knowledge, that put cotton on large cones for Linda. Is that correct?
That's very correct.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. So
they always came on
little baby cones, like this one, for instance. And Linda was blowing through those when she was long arming. And so she asked them to create larger cones, and that's how that all started.
Exactly.
So Signature, the ones that we have on our website, we have a 40 and a 50 weight. So just depending on kind of what thickness you're looking for, we've got solids and variegateds, which are wonderful. Signatures, the variegated on a Signature is going to have a longer variegation. So you'll notice, it's harder to see with this blue, but it's about a 3 to 4 inch variegation before it changes to the next color. Whereas with King Tut, Majestic, and a few of the others have an inch variegation. So sometimes with that longer variegation, it just allows you to see more of that color in that space. It also shows off piecing more than the actual quilting.
I was going to say it's a little softer when it has a longer variegation.
Yeah, a little easier to flow
Linda really
into
loved the long variegation. And when she created her line, it was created with long variegation for that reason.
Yeah, it just kind of worked that way for her.
Yeah.
That's kind of where she was living at.
Because it just settled in.
Yes.
Still gave a little pop of the different colors, but it wasn't like starch.
Correct. Like a very fast variegation on that one. So again, signature on these. Now, if you're just joining us for these live shopping experiences, if you're on the website shopping, we are just putting one of the threads in the family on the site. But remember, there are so many different colors. So make sure you're just adding it to your cart. Then you can go back and look at all the other colors that are available. Now, that does it for the cottons that we have on my table here. There are a bajillion other ones, trust me, but those are the ones that I have on my table right here.
Yeah, so if we didn't talk about it, doesn't mean that it's not because it's a great thread.
Correct.
It's just he doesn't happen to have them in his studio right now.
Yeah, because
there's just so many of them.
I want every single one. Trust me.
We'll get there.
The budget does not call for me to have every single one right now.
One day he'll have the whole line of every cotton, and then we can talk in just all cotton.
We can talk about all the different cottons and all different
but if we miss the one that you enjoy and you love, throw it up there. You're welcome to share what you loved with your friends that are watching. It's just we just don't have the sample here. That's all it is.
And it's also one of those things that I do want you to know, and I talked about this during the batting episode yesterday. This is a really big thing to hone in on. Once you find the brand that you love, go for it.
Yeah.
We love that. When you understand the fiber type behind the overall idea, you can go anywhere within the families of threads and be successful. It's finding that information behind cotton threads. What are some of the uses? Why would I do this? Why would I do that? Why would I do this? Why would I do that?
Correct.
What needle should I use? Should I use ease of thread? If it's breaking, how do I deal with that? Because cotton thread is cotton thread. When you understand weight, text, and fiber type, you can do anything, anything in the lineup. And that's why I love doing these episodes, because there's so many things to talk about when they come to applications.
Exactly, there really is.
Of them. Another thing also, it's a very small, tiny little thing, but just to give it to you as well. Cotton fiber is naturally heavier than poly fiber. So if you are making a weighted quilt, we talked about this yesterday with batting, I would use 100% cotton batting. I would also use 100% cotton thread. It's not because you have to have cotton thread with cotton batting. It's because cotton thread is heavier. So if you're putting more thread into that quilt, it will be a heavier quilt as well.
That, and also, I don't know, you might have already said this, but cotton has such a matte finish. So it gives you that old-fashioned matte color as well. Compared to a lot of polyesters will have a little sheen on them.
Correct.
So they're not as matte. But
that's a great thing to bring up. Look at you, Mom.
I am scoring.
You need to come back to work. You can't retire anymore. So that's another thing too. When you're looking at applications, why would I use a cotton thread versus a poly thread, for instance? If you're working with reproduction fabrics or the Civil War type prints, something more heirloom, I would be using cotton thread on that, because that goes with the time period of the fabric. That matte finish, it didn't have a sheen on the thread. It didn't have a poly look. It had a nice thick cotton matte finish.
Exactly.
So looking at that application as well, what is the quilt going to end up being? This one right here behind me that I've made, the 250th quilt kit that we do have available. So we only have very few left. You tore them up. Thank you, people. Love you for that. I'm actually going to probably do a cotton thread on this one.
Okay.
Because America's 250th birthday, I'm going back to some of those earlier times.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it was using more of a colonial thread, more of a matte finish, more of that thicker quilting look.
Yeah, and there's the stars and stripes. There's a lot of beautiful cotton variegated. So I think you got to put a cotton variegated on there.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't have variegated threads.
Oh, you're right. They didn't.
So if you're gonna stick with the time,
then you're just
gonna have
to do.
Also, they didn't really have like stark white fabric either. So I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. But it's just looking at what the quilt is calling for.
Yeah.
Trying to stay within that time period.
But I can see like the stars and stripes, the stars and loops pattern on there, or one of the other star patterns that we carry. And then you go along and you can put it you could put a matte light blue almost on there too.
You could.
Right? You know, to have a little pop, just little tiny dole, like a dole pop.
Yeah.
Then that would bring you back to the colonial time.
I think you could. You want to quilt that for me?
Yeah, you get on one machine, I'll be on the other.
She ain't quilting it for me, folks. You already know she ain't quilting it.
Oh, that's not true.
You already know she ain't quilting it, folks. Hi, Gary. How are you?
I don't mind the quilting. I hate the loading.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's everybody. That's everything.
I know.
Okay, so that was just a brief look at cotton fibers.
Okay.
In here, I think let's move to poly fibers. Starting with probably one of the most popular threads in the quilting lineup is going to be Omni.
Yeah.
Now, Omni used to come on a cone that looked like this. They're now on different cones like this. Same incredible thread, just a different style cone. You might have a cone that looks like this in your quilting arsenal, or you might have these new ones like this. Now, Omni is going to be this is a fun one. They do a Tex 30, but in parentheses, they put 40 weight.
Correct.
So they give you options.
That's really good, though, because it kind of tells you, if depending on which way you look at your threads, this is what it is for both.
Yeah.
I love Omni. Omni is like especially back when I started quilting, it was the most universal thread that gave me a little bit of the matte finish, cost effective, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Deanna, I see your comment. For some reason, the sound is coming in and out and missing words consistently. If you'll refresh your browser, because I know Mom went and looked because you made an earlier comment about that, and she looked and was watching on her phone and everything was coming through okay.
Yeah, it seemed like it was.
You might just want to refresh your browser. It just might be having a little bit of a lag on that.
Yeah, and I wonder if I'm over talking you and it's happening then. So yeah, just let us know.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I would start by refreshing your browser. Also, you could hop over. I know you're watching us on the website. You could also hop over to another streaming platform like YouTube and see if that fixes it for you as well.
And I tested it on YouTube and Facebook, and it was fine. I didn't do it on the website. Sorry.
Oh, I need you to go test it on the website.
Okay.
Then.
I will go do my job again.
So again, Omni, it comes on 6,000 yard cones. There's also 2,000 yard mini cones that are available. This is a 100% poly, but it is a matte finish on that poly. So it looks like a kind of like a polished cotton. You see a little bit of that sheen that it has, not really even a sheen, that little bit of that polished glow that it has. It's made to look like a cotton, but still have the strength of a polyester thread. So in that poly core is where the strength is going to appear in that as it's working and as it's quilting out in your process. Polyester is a synthetic fiber, so it is naturally stronger as well. If you're a new quilter or just getting into long arming, I always recommend starting with Omni. It's just a really great thread to work with, and there's a wide color range, and it's available in solids, but it's also available in variegateds as well on there. So a lot of fun, beautiful ones. Now the variegated ones are 2,000 yard cones, and the solids again are 6,000 or a 2,000 yard cone, just depending on which one you go with in that issue. Okay, we're having some issues on the website again. I need to reach out to the people to see what's going on with that. I do apologize. Yeah, people are still having problems on the website. Okay, I will get that addressed, guys. I do apologize. If you're watching us on the website, hop over to another streaming platform like YouTube or Facebook, and I will have the website fixed, because this is not good. I will get the website fixed to see what's going on and why it's doing that to you. So I do apologize why it's doing that. Let's see here.
It's on most of all the platforms now.
It's happening on all the platforms?
Yeah, there's like a cut through. It's like half the words. Because she's streaming.
Oh. Okay. All right. I'm trying to see what the best case scenario would be to fix this. Because it needs to be fixed.
So I think our best solution right now would be to go out and come back in.
Okay.
It's live, right?
Yeah, it's live.
Live is always funny. Sometimes it works really great. Sometimes it has issues.
Yeah.
And it could just be a connection issue happening right now.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, guys. What we're going to do is we are going to take a quick break. We're going to hop out of this live. And I've got to get this thing squared away to figure out what's going on. So I do apologize for the inconvenience. We can come back early for the thread and notion, or for the notions one. And once we figure this out, we can start the notions one early if you're watching us on the website. So, okay. And we'll get this squared away. I do apologize, but bear with me. Give me about 15 or 20 minutes, and then you'll get a notification again if you're watching us on other platforms that we're live, or you can just check back in a little bit later. But I do want to get this squared away. I think that's a good plan. So as we go.
Yep.
Okay, we're good.
Yep.
All right, guys. I will be back. I promise. I do apologize. We're going to figure out these issues that we're having, and we'll be back shortly. Okay. See ya.